Yo, what is up, guys? And today I'm going to be recapping week 8 of the college football season. It was a very interesting week, to say the least. Lots of change in the standings, lots of just change overall. But I'm going to be taking you guys. I'm going to be taking you guys through some of the big games, some of the maybe upsets, although there weren't a whole lot this week, I don't think. Some of the struggle wins, if you will, especially in the Big 12, and just some other stuff in general. So, hope you guys enjoy the video, but we'll get right into it. So, first off, I don't know if I told you guys this, but I was actually at the Miami Louisville game on Saturday, so I guess I'll just talk about that one first. Um, it was honestly insane. It was insane. Man, our defense worries me so much. Our defense is so bad, but well, it's a later fix, you know. We'll fix it when we have to face, Ohio State and Georgia. But it'll be fine. It'll come together. Um yeah, Louisville. Okay, to be fair, I think Louisville's a good team. I don't think 4-3 is a record that really accurately represents them, if you will. I mean, they've lost to, Notre Dame on the road by 7, who is honestly, I think Notre Dame would probably be like top 3, 4 if they hadn't lost to NIU. I mean, they were 5, I think, before the NIU loss, so I think they would be like probably around there, if not higher, if not for that NIU loss. Especially that Texas A&M win looks pretty good, but they play Navy this Saturday, so we'll see. But yeah, I completely lost my train of thought. I don't know. Louisville lost to Notre Dame. They lost to SMU, who's a pretty good team as well. Their only loss is to BYU, who's a solid football team themselves. And then obviously the Canes on Saturday was their third loss. All three of those losses, by the way, have been by 7 points, which is a very interesting and sad statistic for Louisville. They still have Clemson left. I know they have Boston College this Friday night, I think, which I think that should be a win, honestly. BC hasn't played extremely well as of late, so yeah, we'll see how that turns out for them, but man, I think that was Cam Ward's best game yet. Um but got to go down to around field level towards the end of the game after all the Louisville fans left. Got to take some pictures with some of the players, so shout out Isaiah Horton, Xavier Restrepo. I did get within about 5 feet of Cam Ward, so, if he makes it one day in the NFL, I'll just pull up a picture of his face from like 5 feet away and like, yeah, that was me, you know. That would be a little weird behavior, but anyways, um, good game. I think it was a good game. I mean, obviously one side of the ball was amazing, the other was extremely underwhelming, but that happens sometimes. So we got Florida State next. Um, if we have any problems with Florida State, I think that's completely inexcusable. So I guess we'll have to wait and see in the next video what my reaction is to that game. But anyways, moving on. Texas Georgia, man, what a game. Regarding the elephant in the room, obviously the incident in the third quarter. Do I think it was PI? No. Obviously, it was not PI. I think Texas definitely got what they deserved with inappropriate actions. I think that says a lot that you can throw water bottles onto the field and get what you want. Um, and they were punished and everything, but like, still, I don't know. I it just gives a certain vibe that like if you just throw a pity party for your team, you can get the reward that you want. And Vanderbilt, shout out Vanderbilt, man. Vanderbilt has just taken the college football world by storm, but they put up netting in front of the Texas section in their stadium that would protect any debris from being thrown on the field. Vanderbilt, how can you not like Vanderbilt? Like, how can you not like them? I don't understand. I mean, if you're an Alabama fan, then that's one thing, but speaking of that team down south, Alabama loses again to Tennessee 24-17. I forget that field goal. It amazes me that Jalen Milroe was a Heisman contender at one point in the season after he played one really good half of football against Georgia, did this thing, and then just everyone was all over him. Well, everyone was all over Ryan Williams, but that's another point. So, yeah, he was trash. Jalen was. So glad that Heisman conversation can be put to rest now. Um, yeah, I don't think there's a lot else to say. I mean, I think both defenses played well. I think Tennessee is a good team. I mean, really, their only loss is clearly a winnable game. So, um, it's going to be tough to make the SEC championship. It obviously involves them winning out because, you still got two undefeated teams in conference play left. They do play each other, which helps, LSU and Texas A&M this Saturday. So, yeah, but winning out is the only option. If they lose, then it's over. So, not to make the CFP, but to make the SEC championship, yes. I didn't think I would be saying that we're finding out in late October who the last team to be undefeated in conference play is in the SEC. Is it LSU or is it Texas A&M? I didn't think those two teams would be the two teams, but here we are. So yeah, that was it for that one. Um, Big 12 struggles this past week. Iowa Iowa State. Long week so far, long week. Iowa State with UCF. Shout out Miami transfer Ja'Cory Brown for putting up a good fight there for Gus Malzahn and the Golden Knights, but unfortunately wasn't enough. And then BYU with Oklahoma State. I didn't think BYU was going to be 4-0 in conference, and Oklahoma State the exact opposite. I thought, if anything, it might be the other way around. But, shout out BYU, man. They're like, what, 7-0, 8-0? I think 7-0. So, shout out to them, man. If they win out, then they're in. It would be BYU and Iowa State. They are undefeated and they don't play each other. So, barring any losses from either of those two teams, that's your Big 12 championship right there. Which, completely unexpected, but, stuff happens in college football. Speaking of stuff happening, Liberty, you suck. You absolutely disgrace. I want to say one of the worst 5-0 teams college football has probably ever seen. Honestly, probably one of the worst 5-0 teams college football has ever seen. Shout out Kennesaw State. The whole college football world, whether you win again or you don't, the whole college football world needs to write a thank you letter to Kennesaw State. Liberty and CFP should not be put together in a sentence ever again. What else? What else? I'm forgetting something. Shout out Indiana. Smoking Nebraska. I can't say I saw this happening where Indiana could very well be 11-1. I mean, the only game that kind of concerns me, well, really concerns me for them is Ohio State. But other than that, they can beat Washington, college game day there and everything. They can do that. They can beat Michigan State. They can beat Michigan. They can totally beat Michigan. Totally. Michigan hasn't really done anything impressive this season. They literally beat USC when everyone thought that was an impressive thing to do. Clearly it's not, because Maryland just did it. So, I mean, Michigan really hasn't done much impressive this year. The fact that they were ranked last week, I think, is absolute bogus, but that's another discussion for another time. So, yeah, and shout out Illinois on that note for knocking them out of the top 25. So, I don't know. I think that's most of it. I will actually try to record a week 9, I believe, week 9 prediction video this week instead of just not doing it like I have been the past couple of weeks. Sorry about that, but I will actually try to do that this week. Some good games this week. Oregon, Illinois, you got LSU, Texas A&M. I think that's the biggest one. I would have said College Game Day should have gone there, but I understand with them going there earlier this year to Texas A&M. Texas Vanderbilt. Didn't think I would be saying this, but that is a big game. That is a big game. Did I say Illinois, Oregon? I don't even know. Miami, Florida State. If we do not win by 20 plus, that's like 30 plus, honestly. 30 plus, that's a disgrace. That's a disgrace. There are no excuses. But, if my voice is a little raspy, it kind of is still from the Louisville game. I did a unhealthy amount of yelling. So apologies, but anyways, this video is almost over, so let's just put a stamp to it there. Week 9, right? I've messed up the week numbers so many times in my videos. Week 9 predictions coming soon, sometime within the next few days, but for now that is all, and I will see you guys in the next one.